Hello, Patreons, and thank you very much indeed for being there. As always, truly appreciate it. I wanted to continue on the topic of structuring your book. Something else that people sometimes forget is that you need to, oops, sorry, I clicked the microphone. You need to structure the book in little chunks. Remember that everything you write is going to be, classes, professions, everything is going to be divided, and it needs to be table of content ready. So at the time of structuring your book, how are you going to structure your chapters? One thing I dislike when I see so many role-playing games is that, for instance, they will have a description of 100 words, I'm just saying, about one profession, and then 300 words about the other profession. Was a bit, what? Why is that? Why is that? It's not something that people think about very often. How are you going to structure the table of content? How are you going to structure the index? And this is something to think about as you go along, because, for example, if you're going to be doing the basic layout yourself, or if you need to hire a layout artist, you need to tell them, this is the way I want the table of content to go. Or just tell them, design the table of content the way you want it. But you should be aware of that. You should be the one in control of how is the information going to be presented in the book. If you've taken a look at any of my unbookings that I've been publishing recently, you'll see that I always take a look at the table of content, because just by glancing at it, that could tell me whether I want to read the book or not. For example, if we take a look at Chivalry and Sorcery, just looking at that told me that I'm going to have to devote an awful lot of time to character creation. That is where most of the meat of the game is going to be, and they've done it complex on purpose. Nothing wrong with that. But it will give you some ideas. It's the first impression of the book. Whereas, for instance, in Agents of Concordia, it has a much more streamlined little table of content, very easy to read, that draws me into the game right away. So the structuring of the book is not just necessarily where you put each chapter and what you include in each chapter, but also into how are people going to be able to find that information, how easy is it going to be for people to find that information, how is it going to be presented to you, to them, not from you to them. So it is one pretty interesting aspect of book organization that people just don't think about. And you should. You definitely should. So when you're thinking about structuring, how long do you want everything to be? Make sure that there is some cohesion to your words, and to the number of words that you invest, and the amount of information that you give for everything. Make sure that you understand what the truly important parts of the book are, where the most difficulties are, so you can spend a little bit more on there. For instance, if the rules are complicated, make sure that you give more examples. Make sure that you're giving enough for people to have very clear on every single step what they are reading, what about, and what for. I hope this is useful. And by all means, do let me know if you have any questions and want me to talk about any particular aspect, and I will do my level best to cover that need. Thank you very much for being there. I'll talk to you soon.